Trump won the North Dakota caucuses, getting 84% of the vote now. On Super Tuesday, voting's underway in 10 of the 15 states with contests. Fox's Jessica Rosenthal reports.
The Trump team says they expect an avalanche of delegates to head the former president's way. On Fox News Monday, former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley said they just want to be competitive, that even while most of the country does not want to see a rematch between President Biden and former President Trump.
I'm a conservative Republican. I always have been. I always will be. I'm not going to do a third party. That's not anything I'm interested in. But these voices cannot be ignored.
Now, the Trump name is on the ballot in Colorado and Maine today after the Supreme Court ruled no states can remove the former president over claims he's constitutionally disqualified for leading an insurrection with the Capitol riot. In today's Democratic contests, Fox's Jackie Heinrich reports from the White House.
Their takeaway is that the longer Nikki Haley stays in the race, the better for President Biden. Meantime, there are 7 states today that have an uncommitted option on the Democratic primary ballot. That includes Alabama, Colorado, Iowa, Massachusetts, Minnesota, North Carolina, and Tennessee.
A week ago in Michigan, 13% of Democrats chose uncommitted, protesting the president's support for Israel in the war in Gaza. Now, the U.S. is pushing for a ceasefire.
Negotiators from Hamas have been involved in talks in the Egyptian capital, Cairo. Still no breakthrough and fading hopes of the fighting being paused before the Muslim holy month of Ramadan. The plan on the table is for a 40-day truce, the release of hostages, and more humanitarian aid.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. A small plane with engine trouble went down last night in Nashville, Tennessee. Before reaching the airport, police spokesman Don Aaron says it
crossed over the lanes of the interstate and then crashed there just behind the Costco on a grassy median of I-40.
The plane burst into flames. 5 people on board killed. America's listening to Fox News.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare information guide absolutely free. Call 800-919-3200. That's 800-919-3200. 800-919-3200.
Federal authorities are now pressuring banks to spy on the transactions of conservatives. Hi, I'm Dr. Ron Paul, and this is yet another reason why you need a physical gold IRA from Birch Gold Group. To learn more, text the word SHELTER to 989898 to get your free info kit on gold IRAs. Secure your IRA or 401k right now. Text SHELTER to 989898 to request your free info kit right now.
Message and data rates may apply.
Paid for by Birch Gold Group.
The FAA has been investigating Boeing since a scare in the air in January and has found multiple problems with Boeing's manufacturing process. This has some of the people on board the flight in January that led to this review file lawsuits.
Jonathan Johnson represents 3 passengers on Alaska Airlines Flight 1282 who he says are suffering daily anxiety and extreme fear when alleged negligence led to a door plug detaching from their plane mid-flight.
They thought they were going to die in a plane crash, and they were super distressed.
He says all 3 passengers are getting mental health support and may never fly again. Johnson says it was a, quote, mere load of luck that the passengers of Flight 1282 weren't killed during the 737 MAX 9's emergency landing. Johnson aims to bring the case to trial. He says even $1 billion can't rid these passengers of their trauma, but will hopefully lead to permanent improvements for the 737 MAX.
That's Julia Lopez with Fox 12 TV in Portland. They'll start to pick a jury today in Michigan to put the father of a school shooter on trial, weeks after the boy's mother was convicted.
Potential jurors are set to be chosen in James Crumbley's trial for charges stemming from the Oxford, Michigan high school shooting carried out in 2021 by his son that left 4 dead. Ethan Crumbley, who was 15 at the time of the shooting, pleaded guilty and is serving life in prison without parole. James Crumbley's wife, Jennifer, was found guilty of 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter last month, the same charges he faces. They are both accused of ignoring concerns about their son's mental health, and James is accused of buying the gun used in the shooting. Testimony is expected from one of the surviving victims of the violence. Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures are falling, down about 100 points for the Dow, the day after selling to start the week when the Dow dropped 97 points and the Nasdaq lost 67. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Well, good morning. It is Tuesday. Big game tonight. National television, 6 o'clock. I'm sorry. It's on Peacock.
Yes, it is.
So if you don't have Peacock, man, totally the biggest game in the Big Ten of the year.
Right.
Meteorologist Greg Soye this morning, brought to you by... Are you there? I don't hear him.
Okay.
Grass.
That's it? Okay. Weather not brought to you by anything.
The Urbana Park District is looking for camp counselors and lifeguards. They have opportunities to work with our youth. The Free Teen Hangout is one of their programs.
There he is. He's here now.
UrbanaParks.org for details.
I jumped the gun on you a little bit. Didn't give you time to breathe. Anyway, he's here. Meteorologist Greg Soye.
Yes, I am. Yes.
Jumped on. We got a big game tonight. Purdue's in town. They were here yesterday. Now they're here today, and they'll presumably play basketball unless they want to forfeit. They'll play them at 6 tonight on national TV, but it is on Peacock, and that ticks people off. Boy, that gets in their crawl because they're not paying $6.99 a month. So anyway, it's
Can't you get like they did for the Super Bowl? You get like a free 30 days or something. That's what we did with the Peacock thing.
Right.
We just got this not the Super Bowl, but the playoffs game.
I don't know. We have it, so I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway,
then we canceled it. So
there you go. But and they don't, and they've never heard of that. They never understood. No, people do that all the time. All right, so a little cooler, but a little rainy. What you seeing on your maps there, fella?
Yeah, it's not the white stuff. It's no bitter cold. There's still lots of that on the maps and charts well to our north, and no sign of it full bodily coming on southward. Next inkling of maybe a possible snowflake would be a Saturday morning, but to the northwest of Champaign County, and maybe another one or two late next week as well. And that's it for any late winter stuff around here. So the early spring roller coaster ride, as you would expect if you're locked into this weather pattern, continues on. Quite a range of temperatures this morning. 60 at Danville to 42 up at the Kankakee. They had over an inch of rain in the gauges around the Galesburg, Peoria area, and some pretty good soaking stuff now. Jacksonville down to Springfield with some flood warnings there because of thunderstorm activity and a scattering of showers, a couple of thunderstorms over a good part of the listening area right now. Some of the heavier returns, Pied County back to around Decatur, some pretty good soaking rains through the south end of Vermilion County right now, and some stuff exiting out of the eastern through southern areas of Vermilion County. 55 over in Savoy now, 50 Rantoul, 47 Bloomington, normal. So you kind of get the juxt of it all, a range of temperatures, generally around 55, 56 degrees, and we'll slide back in the mid to upper 40s as the morning and afternoon progresses. Still some shower activity back in for this afternoon as well. Colder low tonight, but still, above average at 39, partly sunny, 10 above average tomorrow at 55. Could be a sprinkle late Thursday, partly sunny, 57, and probably another widespread good soaking rain across the area for Thursday night into Friday. We're only in the mid 50s on Friday, still above average there. A little more realistic temperature pattern for the weekend. Some rain lingers Saturday at 45. Don't forget the time change here Sunday morning. Highs up to 46 there. But then another recovery. We're heading back into the 50s for the first part with sunshine of next week. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
All right. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. Super Tuesday is today. A whole bunch of states voting. He was on the leadership team of the Republican National Hispanic Assembly, a political organization founded in 1967 for conservative Hispanics, wanting to bring their message forward while working to get Republicans elected. Orlando Salazar, are you not kind of a minority within the minority, Orlando? I mean, usually everybody presumes everybody votes for Joe Biden. That's not true, right?
Well, that's a very accurate description, minority within a minority, but pretty soon that will not be the case.
Well, now, wait a minute. I thought we opened the border so they could get a new voting bloc. They're not going to... What do they think you are, Orlando? I don't get it. I think they do that with African Americans. They just assume we got you because we'll pay you or something, right?
Well, the word assume, you know what that means, right?
Yep, I do.
Yeah. Yeah, well, look, they have a plan, and sadly, their plan might work for short term, but long term, we have a plan too. On our side, there's a company called Voice Media that just started that is going to be a national platform, media platform to reach Spanish speakers with conservative information to combat Univision and Telemundo. So pretty soon, the right side, the conservative side, is going to have their own messaging, and maybe something that they're planned is not going to work out so well.
Well, I guess we're going to see. The polls are showing that the support from Hispanics is slipping for President Biden. What do you expect today in the primary?
Well, primaries I don't think are going to be the true indicator. We'll get to the general, and by that time the situation is going to be even worse. And I think the numbers are going to be very, very positive for the Republican side.
Why don't you tell me who the Hispanic voter is?
Well, that's an interesting question. It's not simple. It's a very complex thing because the Hispanic voter in South Florida is way different than the Hispanic voter in South Texas. And the Hispanics in California, even though they're of Mexican descent, there's just a different mentality there than there is in Texas. But having said all that, hardworking people that love their families, generally speaking, are God-fearing people, and they just want a place to work, provide for their families, and have upward mobility for their children.
Well, I don't think I've seen some Hispanic workers, and they don't take a break. I've seen guys on the roof. I'm going, they don't take a break. Orlando, the work ethic is kind of what I used to have, right? I mean, America, I don't know what to say. We've gotten soft.
Well, that's interesting that you say that. I think there's always an evolution in a country, and you still see people in the North. You still see quote unquote Anglo carpenters and plumbers and stuff like that. But in the southern part of the United States, you just don't see that anymore.
No, you don't. You really don't. All right, so we'll see. I would think Donald Trump won't wrap it up today, but he probably will and get the 1,200 delegates he needs, I think, by next week or the week after, whatever it is. But it is inevitable. Nikki Haley staying in the thing. I'm not exactly sure why. I guess she was thinking maybe there's a court thing that'll come up. What's your whole thing on Donald Trump and what's happened and what his prospects are?
Well, his prospects keep getting better with the Supreme Court ruling yesterday. And the worse the situation gets within our country as a result of Biden's policies, the better his chances are. So the worse the left gets, the better Trump looks. And for all his, faults and faux pas with his verbiage, he keeps looking better and better.
Well, it'll be interesting. This is certainly an unprecedented time when you've got a guy that I don't get it. I've said all along I want to stick with it. It won't be Joe Biden. I just can't imagine. Orlando, he's older and he can't do this. I don't. Well,
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who they run against Trump. We're running against policies, not a person.
Yeah.
And they can put whatever face they want to on their policies, but their policies aren't going to change. They're not going to all of a sudden stop what's going on the border or stop the way they are so cuddly with China or anything else. They're not going to change. So put a different face on it. It won't matter.
Who's running it? Orlando, you probably tell me who's pulling the strings at the White House. Joe Biden's not zero. Who's doing it? Is it Jill Biden? Who is it? Jill?
I think it goes way above that. I think it's the Soroses of the world. I think there's some very powerful people trying to make things happen to hurt our country. So I think it goes really high up.
But who's doing day to day? I mean, who in the White House is making the final call?
That's a great question. I don't know. I don't know. But sadly, it doesn't matter because the person who's actually given the credit for it is Biden, and he's horrific. So everything, whatever plans they have, just fall apart when it hits Biden.
Orlando Salazar, how can people connect with you?
Just go to rnha.org.
rnha.org. Nice meeting you, Orlando. Thanks for your time.
You bet.
On the Tapman's Towing phone line, Orlando Salazar from Texas this morning. ESPN 93.5. It's 7:15. There's a basketball game tonight.
Yes, there is. Number 12, Illinois, and number 3, Purdue. A little shift in the rankings, but not by much. I know you were looking at some Brad Underwood.
Well, we are favored. Favored by point and a half. We were 3-point underdogs at Wisconsin, which I thought was a little odd. And we are favored tonight by 1.5. Brad Underwood, the first game we played with Purdue in early January without Terrence, it was a single-digit final.
Well, we were never in it. I mean, we made a run. They whooped us. They physically just manhandled us. They were more ready to play. They were more ready to be in that game. Even though we were in the top 10, they controlled the boards. They dominated the offensive glass. Every time we tried to make a run, it was an offensive rebound for a three. I think there were 3 or 4 of them in the game. We scored a boatload of points in the second half. But you can't dig yourself out of a hole, when you're 20-4. We made a run, made another run late. But, it was a pretty thorough butt kicking to be.
What about Zach Edey? How do you prepare for 7'5"?
Well, you don't practice for it. I mean, you can't practice that. And so, we dealt with it with Kofi. We know what that's like. It's the other guys that whipped us.
Well, we'll see what happens tonight. 6 o'clock. It's the Peacock Network. Just again, letting you know, you can go to Pia's.
Yes, you can.
You could watch it there.
And actually arrive early in case you wanted to ride the bus to the game.
Yeah.
I was looking on ESPN's website, and it says lowest ticket at $105 for this sold-out event. And, of course, 5:30 is when we'll start the senior night festivities. And it says 7 players and 3 managers will be honored starting at 5:30.
Including Luke Goody. He is definitely going to make the walk. No, he graduated from the Geese College of Business, I guess, in 3 years. Was he a redshirt? Anyway, he's done, so they're going to honor that. And I think, is it possible Luke Goody isn't here? But what I know, I think he's planning to come back, but who knows? In this day,
right?
Who knows?
But
right?
Yes, you're right. College of Business with a degree in finance is what he's got. I graduated from EIU in 3 years. It can be done.
There you go.
So there you go. Let's see. Max Williams, also Justin Harmon, Quincy Guerrier, Marcus Domask, also Terrence Shannon Jr., and Coleman Hawkins are on this list.
So I plan to be there at 5 o'clock.
Okay.
I like going early. The energy's there. It's going to be the best crowd of the year. It's going to be fun.
And it looks like John Phelan and Macy Meiswich and Jaden Katz are the managers that are also.
Those are the guys that wash the towels and do everything, and they never get anything. So we'll clap and stand for those guys.
Absolutely.
For sure. All right, our weather this morning brought to you by Carl.
And Carl reminds you, if you're looking for a new gig, they work every day to help improve the health of the community members across the region. If you're in the mood to serve others in a supportive environment, visit carl.org/careers.
Why did Brad Underwood say that this is a team that he'll always remember and love? Why? We've got that clip coming up as well. Right after our Fox Business Minute, which is coming up in just a few moments. Okay. All right, again, my out feels like March. This is March 5, ESPN 93.5.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Illinois. Champaign-Urbana is Saturday, and a big change in weather is underway across the area. Strong cold front moving on through. A couple of batches of showers and thunderstorms expected, and a steady drop in temperatures by and large across the area. Will range generally through the upper 40s to mid-50s for the day today. There'll be a couple of downpours too this morning. Gusty north winds will settle on in later this morning as well. Colder tonight, down to 39. Partly sunny for the day tomorrow. Temperatures still a few degrees, a bunch of degrees for that matter, above average. Normal highs are about 45 up to 55 tomorrow. Northeast wind, maybe a couple of sprinkles late Thursday, partly sunny, 57. More rain ahead and a stiff breeze for Friday and Saturday. High temperatures up to 56 on Friday. Weekend highs 45 Saturday. Back to dry time and 46 degrees on Sunday. Into the lower 50s and sunshine for Monday of next week. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm Peter Olchus, Greg Solgay.
Accumulation, preservation, generation. At Busey Bank, these are the principles we use to build meaningful financial partnerships with our clients and their families. With sound advice and vast resources, partner with Busey for a personalized approach to your legacy. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini, member FDIC.
I'm Liz Clayman, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks could be under more pressure on Wall Street when trading begins after losses to kick off the week. Some investors are looking to the European Central Bank's upcoming monetary policy meeting in Frankfurt this week for signs of the bank's intentions. A report says a left-wing extremist group is claiming responsibility for suspected arson near a Tesla factory in Germany. That fire near the Berlin factory halted production and knocked out power to the area. And a coalition of labor unions is ending its boardroom fight at Starbucks after the coffee chain last week agreed to work toward reaching labor agreements. This according to Reuters, citing two sources. The Strategic Organizing Center, that's a coalition of North American labor unions, is withdrawing its 3 director candidates to the coffee chain's 11-member board. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Lillian Wu, invested in you.
Stay on top of the latest forecast with America's Weather Team in the palm of your hands.
Here's the latest from America's Weather Center.
It's Fox weather updates throughout your busy day, every day.
5 inches of rain by tomorrow.
Temperatures being 30 degrees above average.
Put the power of over 100 meteorologists and the worldwide resources of Fox in your hands with the Fox Weather Podcast. Precise, personal, powerful. Subscribe and listen now at foxnewspodcasts.com.
Kramer Siding and Window, your premier provider for home improvements, specializing in siding, windows, doors, roofing, and outdoor living. Visit kramersiding.com.
With the leaves and temperatures beginning to fall, it's time to make sure those furnaces are in great running order. Get that furnace tuned up so it doesn't let you down on the cold nights. Dogtown is the People's Choice #1 HVAC company again in 2023. Ask about the current 0% financing offer on all Lennox high comfort systems and single component units for qualifying applicants. The number's 217-841-4728. Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing, your home's best friend.
Short-term market fluctuations can be unnerving for everyone. A proven way to tune out the noise and focus on long-term investment goals is to adhere to a well-constructed investment plan. This is Rob Meyer with Provident Financial Group. If you don't have a plan, we can help create one designed specifically for you. Call us today for a complimentary consultation at 217-366-3456 or online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network, member FINRA, SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
I think the thing we all say about March 5th is to say, where'd the basketball season go?
Right.
I mean, this has been good. It's been really fun. Just getting to meet our new players that are now leaving. Brad Underwood talking yesterday about his people.
I think what we see is the common new era of senior days. I think we've got a new pattern or routine. We've got a little bit of everything. First of all, we've got 3 wonderful managers that will go through the process. John Phelan, Macy Mishevitz, and Jaden Katz, all 3 been instrumental in what they've been able to help us with. And then we've got everything from a first-year guy who scored his first career basket with us in Max Williams to a 2,000-point scorer. Another one who's going to pass 2,000 in TJ. We've got a 4-year guy. We've got a 3-year guy in Luke Goody who will walk because he's graduating from the Geese School of Business with a degree in business, and we felt it very important to be able to recognize that. And then you got, there's 3 grad transfers in here. So it is really a unique day and kind of the modern day basketball world that we're living in, where we see a wide spectrum of guys. So it's a very accomplished group. Quincy's a 1,500-point scorer. Justin, Coleman are both approaching 1,000 in their careers. So this has been an extremely fun group to coach. By far and away the most pleasurable year, just with character, with fun, with guys at work. Guys have bought into our culture. All the ups and downs of a season, and everything that this group has gone through. this one will always hold a really special place. Hopefully there's a lot of chapters left to write yet, but this has been an incredible group, and from the walk-ons to the four-year guys that with Coleman, it's been really special. All these guys have different decisions and different directions to go after the season. That'll be for that time. We'll discuss all those things, but for the moment, this is a very special night.
Yep, and we'll be there, and you ought to be there in your seat early just to make sure you don't miss all this, because it is it's cool to say thank you and to say goodbye. And there's Big Jim Hampton. He just got on the screen. We got you on YouTube Live, Facebook Live. Jim Hampton around the world. He's the owner of Tapman's Towing. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Man, you look good. You look like you're 7 feet in that shot here.
I know.
A little taller there.
So, how about that?
He's got his Cardinal jersey on, too.
I know it.
Out of respect.
Represent.
Yeah. Okay, we got Jim here. I got a break.
We were never in it.
Hold on. You already heard that. He said we were never in it the first time play Purdue, even though it was a single-digit loss. We never really we got beat pretty good.
Right.
We fell behind 20-4.
You going to the game against the Boilermakers, Jim?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Well,
I get to watch it on Peacock.
Okay.
You got Peacock. I think it's one of those things where you get a parking ticket for whatever you did, and it just enrages you. The Peacock enrages people.
I know.
I don't have Peacock. I'm so tired of it.
Right.
Because we're paying, all this money at the grocery store. We've just had it.
Right.
Just come on, man. Show me the ball game.
Absolutely.
Remember the day when Channel 3 had all the games for free?
3 or 4 networks. It's easier.
Well, you remember you had to hold the antenna or you get fuzzy. And so somebody had to hold it, and the aluminum foil sometimes worked and sometimes didn't.
Right.
That was my job.
Hold the antenna.
Yeah, and I was the remote
too. Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. Shows our age. We're all pretty old. All right. It's good to have Jim Hampton in the studio. We're going to talk about something very special. It has impacted me. There's no doubt when lights are flashing, move over, passing. So something to remember, a sad occasion, but we're going to cover it because it needs covered. So we will do that coming up next. Take a break for the news and weather. And we got also more sports in the next half hour. This is Tuesday. ESPN 93.5. All right, we'll be right back. It is 7:28.
Want unbeatable prices on your next furniture purchase, but also seeking that local hometown feel? Look no further than Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola. Customers rave about their friendly, established staff, as well as their great selection, amazing prices, and second-to-none delivery service. They're a third-generation local business, and they've always got your best interests at heart. Find the look you love for less. Open 9 to 5 Monday through Saturday, but always available online at kelseyfurniture.com. That's kelseyfurniture.com.
From computer systems to brakes and tires too, at PDR, fixing cars is what they do. Remember, when you turn the key and the car won't run, call 367-9481 or use their dedicated text-only line at 383-0619. Additional information including repair quotes and online scheduling requests available from the website at pdrauto.com. Remember, they are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR.
Hi, I'm Tyler Weaver, president of Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery. It's time to come home to Carpet Weavers. We don't want you to just like your new floors. We want you to love them. From waterproof floors and carpet to furnitures and design advice, we've got a team of experts on your side. We'll get you the best price and the best quality products. And complete your home with furniture and accessories. Buy it all with free financing too. Come home to Carpet Weavers, where floors, furniture, and family meet.
Make a difference in your community and start a rewarding career when you join the Regional Planning Commission Early Childhood Education Team. The RPC will be interviewing for open positions within the program during a hiring event Thursday, April 4th at 103 South Country Fair Drive in Champaign. The event runs from 9 a.m. to noon. Attendees are encouraged to bring their resumes and references. Don't miss this hiring event for the Early Childhood Education Program, April 4th from 9 to noon at 103 South Country Fair Drive in Champaign. Learn more at ccrpc.org.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is
At Pards in Urbana, the boots just keep on coming. They're known for their huge collection of men's cowboy boots, women's cowgirl boots, kids' boots, and even shoes. If you're searching for top footwear brands, look no further than Pards. They carry a wide variety, including Ariat, Dan Post, Smoky Mountain, Roper, Double H, and more. And if socks or accessories are what you need, they've got all your high-quality essentials. Since 1968, Pards has been serving their customers with high-quality merchandise. And if you haven't been to Pards in a while, a lot has changed. Go check them out just off University Avenue in Urbana.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. 15 states are holding presidential primaries on this Super Tuesday. The Supreme Court shut down a legal challenge to Donald Trump being on primary ballots under an insurrection clause of the Constitution.
It was a really well-crafted decision. People were very happy about it. Actually, all sides pretty much were respectful of it.
The former president telling Fox and Friends his focus is on beating President Biden. He could clinch enough delegates to win the nomination by next Tuesday. California's Senate primaries today.
The race features Democrats Adam Schiff, Barbara Lee, and Katie Porter. While Republicans are rallying behind Steve Garvey, California uses a jungle primary, meaning the two candidates receiving the most votes will advance to the general election in November, regardless of party.
Fox's Ryan Schmelz. That seat became open when Dianne Feinstein died. Texas is the other state with a Senate primary today. There are a bunch of competitive House races. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Illinois gas prices have fallen a couple of pennies over the past week. New data from the Energy Information Administration shows the price of a gallon of gas in the Midwest has dropped by 2 cents from $3.12 to $3.10. Champaign police asking for help through Crime Stoppers in identifying a woman accused of using a washed check to pay for groceries. They say the fraudulent purchase happened January 18 near 6 o'clock in the evening at the Schnucks at 109 North Mattis Avenue. The woman in question picked out numerous items and paid for them using a stolen check. She also requested cash back. 15th annual prom benefit for Eastern Illinois Food Bank presented by Martinelli's Market raised more than 350,000 meals for those in need. The event held Saturday at iHotel and Conference Center. In the past year, the food bank seeing an average of 40% increase in the need in the communities that they serve. Thanks to all who participate. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Thank you, Jim. Our weather this morning brought to you by Busey for over 150 years. Member FDIC. Little rainfall in here.
Yeah, but milder conditions.
Oh, yeah.
Look at number 1. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois. Champaign event Eves Saturday, and a change is underway weather-wise. Strong cold front shifting through the area, and batches of showers and a couple of active thunderstorm clusters expected here for the morning hours. No heavy or severe weather, but there'll be a couple of downpours. Temperatures upstream in the 40s and 50s will range into that probably upper 40 to mid 50 degree range for much of the day today on increasing north winds as the later morning and afternoon wears on. Mostly cloudy for tonight, down to 39, and the cooler weather settles in for the day tomorrow too, but still above average temperatures. Should be in the 40s this time of the year, but 55 tomorrow with a partly sunny sky and a northeast wind. A few sprinkles late Thursday, partly sunny 57. Widespread soaking rains for Friday will wind down on Saturday. Highs of about 56 on Friday, only 40s for the weekend. Back to dry time expected here on Sunday. Don't forget the time change. And then for Monday next week, the start of a warm-up, we're back into the 50s. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, Abby Roches, Greg Solgay.
Tapman's Towing, team of experienced tow professionals, is seeking others with CDLs, previous tow experience, and or strong interest in serving others. Please visit our career page at tapmanstowing.com.
So how do I get a job with you, Jim Hampton, Tapman's Towing? How can I become employed? Because you guys do critical work for the area in helping people on a really bad day, a lot of times. And yet, the culture of what you got, Casey, is that the guy I was talking to the other day?
Casey?
Your guy, Casey, what's his name? You were waving at. Your guy who's
I know there's
hefty
Mike.
fella. Came into is it Mike or was another? What are your names, your top drivers, you know?
Mike, Brandon.
Okay, anyway, Mike, maybe it was
Corey?
Mike. Corey.
Yeah,
it was Corey.
It was Corey.
Corey's one that said, well, dang, this who's waving at me.
I know.
Can't miss old Corey Dick.
Corey's got it going on, man. He could do a radio show, too.
Yeah, there you go.
Anyway, Jim Hampton's the owner of Tapman's Towing. It was a tragedy. Tell me about Ross.
Ross was just an all-around good guy. He had his life ahead of him. He was just graduating from college. He's going to go to work for Ryder Trucks as a diesel mechanic, and that was his passion. He was in the community as a firefighter. He was just I never seen that kid without a smile. And every time he passed my office, it was always a wave and a smile, right? So, what a great kid. And, we really do miss Ross.
Ross' last name was?
Booker.
Ross Booker was at, I think it was Windsor and Neal, early evening, and it was an accident was there. Tell me what happened.
Yeah, he and Mike were out cleaning up an accident, a 2-car accident. We got the cars cleaned up and out of the intersection, and Ross went back in the intersection to clean up the debris, and a young man went through the intersection and hit Ross, and ultimately Ross passed away from that. It was a pretty tough loss for everybody, and especially the community.
And there were lights flashing, right? I mean, there were.
Yeah, we had lights. I always have lights flashing.
Yeah. We
had the high vis. I mean, Ross was wearing his high vis
the vest,
uniform.
the whole thing, yeah.
We tried to do everything as safe as possible, and just that just didn't.
Jim, we don't think about even fender benders. You go in the middle of it, you got to clean the stuff up.
Yeah.
And you don't think about how dangerous that could be when there's a lot of cars going whatever speed, and it's. You say, well, I'm going to get a job with Tapman's Towing, and they're great guys and everything else, but some of that stuff, it's dangerous.
Yeah, we say it's a very serious job, and it really is a very serious job. But we have fun doing our job, and when things, when we need to get down to work, we get down to work, and we do it as safe as we can. We've got lights on the trucks. At intersections, when we have police accidents, police departments are there as well to help protect the intersection.
Mm-hmm.
We do our best, and we learn from things like this, right? So what can we do better to make sure that this doesn't happen again? Who do we talk to? What kind of awareness can we bring to the public? And that's what we're doing now.
That's what you're planning tomorrow, right? And tell me what you're planning tomorrow.
So ever since the accident, ever since Ross was pronounced dead, my team came to me and said, we need to do something for us. And so we actually got a procession together. All the tow guys from Tapman's got together, and they wanted to do a procession. They wanted to drive by the accident site, and then actually wanted to show their respects that way. So we did that last year as well. We didn't advertise it or anything like that. It's for some of my guys healing, right? So what do you do? We didn't advertise it much, but we did go through the procession as well, and we plan on doing that again this year. But this year, we need to let people know what we're doing.
Yeah.
And why is there a procession? Why is the tow trucks out there with their lights on and they're driving together? One, it honors Ross, honors Ross's family and the community. The kid was just a very well known, Ross was very well known. He's just a great kid. And it also brings awareness, what we've been practicing and preaching for the longest time. Even before this accident, we've been a strong advocate for slow down, move over. When you see lights flashing, use caution passing, we all want to get home safe tonight. That's not just a tag phrase. It's just something I want people to understand and get in their minds. So when they do see lights flashing, automatic, man, it's just, we need to move over. We need to slow down. There's somebody's life on the line out here.
Yeah. Well, and again, you get to, accidents right at the very beginning of stuff a lot of times, right? So you never know what you got every day. It's kind of like, these you're the emergency guy too, where you have to go out to these situations and particularly interstate work. I know it can be dangerous anywhere, but man.
We're considered the silent responders. We clean up the accidents after the facts, but we are a first responder. We are, we're not run out there with the police and the ambulance and whatnot, but we do get called right when the accident happens. We get out there and we do our best by making sure we secure the accident scene, make sure everybody's safe, and sometimes we put ourselves in harm's way a lot of times because we have to.
All right, so people that will see this, about what time you're doing this tomorrow?
So Ross was pronounced dead at 5:02. So we're leaving my parking lot at 5:02 tomorrow.
It wasn't even
afternoon.
Dark when this happened. Then I thought it was more in the nighttime.
No, it was just getting dark.
Right.
Okay, so if you see the lights flashing and you see all these tow trucks, you'll know that this is to honor a young man that lost his life a couple of years ago. So
yeah, and we're gonna actually take this down to Cunningham to University, go through Champaign to University to Neal Street, take Neal Street up to past the accident site, back down Windsor to 130, 150. We're going to go through St. Joe at the 4-way stop, and we're going to make our way to the cemetery, and we're just going to pay our respects to Ross.
Ross Booker. Okay, well, Jim Hampton, Tapman's Towing. How did you get into this thing? How did you get into towing stuff?
Oh man, how much time we got?
I mean, it's been a long time, right?
It has. My dad actually brought the first heavy duty record to this area back when I was a little guy.
So it was a heritage thing. I mean, your dad knew how to do all this.
And he got out of it, right? But it's just always been in my blood. Ever since before I got out of high school, I worked for Tapman's. I worked for Tapman's for about a year and a half. Unfortunately, lost my driver's license as a young kid. Too many speeding tickets. Left, went to work for Menards for 6 years.
Menards, you'd be great at Menards too, man.
I ran the lumberyard out there. And I moved to Joliet first and ran that lumberyard as well. But left Menards, came back to Champaign, worked for Tapman's again, ended up running the place, and then then an opportunity came up 18 years ago, and I've owned it. We've been growing ever since.
Yeah.
People hear the ads for help. It's because we're growing. We're constantly growing, and we need that good help.
Yeah, it's everything, right?
And
what do you think of Paul Tapman? Any good?
And he's a great guy. He really is. He's a lot of fun. He gets funnier as he gets older.
But he's the guy that got you kind of really going in it, right?
He did.
Yeah.
Paul's just a great guy. Matter of fact, I think one of the first interactions I had with Paul, before I started working for him out of high school, I got my truck stuck in the, and Paul actually came out with a record.
No kidding.
And of course, I had to go out and hook everything up.
He didn't get out.
He didn't get muddy.
Exactly.
Well, and you're from Urbana, aren't you?
I am from Urbana.
Urbana High School?
Yep.
Yeah.
1987.
Come on, man.
I'm telling you, young guy.
Yeah. Well, okay. Again, if you want to work for this fellow, local guy, treats you right. And a good place to work.
We're really competitive with our wages, and we've got benefits, and
you like
really
going into your place. You really like it.
Yeah, people like to see us, Stevie. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not like, oh man, there's the token. We go help people when they're in need, right? And we love helping people out. We do.
You always have a battery on the truck.
Always have batteries.
Well, what about my
if
door?
We'll bring one.
Locked in, locked out. I mean, how do you get people into their cars?
Well, I have to show you, and it's
super secret.
It's secret.
Okay, and then how do you get over 1,200 5-star Google reviews? That's amazing.
1,600.
1,600 5-star Google.
Wow.
You can't fake that.
You know
That's just good.
You know what's cool is every one of my team members have been represented in those reviews, and we continually knock it out. And that's just the Google reviews. Look at the Facebook reviews at 4.9 stars. Look at AAA has their own reviews too, because we're the only contractor for AAA in this area. So, I mean,
no, you're
we're
good,
just killing
man.
it.
No,
These
you're
guys
good.
are doing. My team's doing fantastic.
Well, and helping with accidents, helping people when they're having car trouble, things like that, and not necessarily removing you from a parking spot or something like that.
We do that service as well.
Okay.
I mean, that's a service as well. But for the most part, we go out and help people that are in need.
Okay.
Yeah, we've had you constantly on our streaming.
I
here.
like that.
Yeah.
And you look a little GQ to me.
Exactly.
GQ.
Well, and I see you at so many events. We just talked off the mic about the 15th annual prom benefit that happened at the I Hotel. That ended up raising more than 350,000 meals for the Eastern Illinois Food Bank. And I know today is the day, the first Tuesday of the month, that they'll be popping around with their food mobile starting in St. Joe with Feed the Need at 9 a.m. So take note of that too at eifoodbank.org in case you need more details on that. But always supporting these community events is my point.
I think that's what we need to do. I mean, that's something I'm called to do.
Well, your wife Ingrid owns Fifth Dimension. You guys are out and around. You both had the cowboy hats on for the big Eastern Alliance.
She looked good, didn't she?
Yeah. Both of you. You look like You look like the sheriff.
Yeah.
Yeah. You had that whole black vest thing going on with the black hat. Jim was the sheriff.
That
man.
Western theme's awesome.
Listen, hope it goes well to honor Ross Booker tomorrow as you drive around Champaign with your lights flashing. But again, folks, if you see stuff up there, you just got to decrease speed. If you're on the interstate, it's hard to get left. You have to go slower and get over. Just don't go near the stuff because it's dangerous.
Well, some of our listeners, like Thomas, was texting in. I had Ross tow me a few weeks before his death. Was an incredible young man who provided incredible service.
One of the things I can say in our commercial, the Bookers, Ross's parents is in the last commercial, and one of the things that Marita Booker actually said in there, we are always somebody.
Mm-hmm. I remember that.
We're somebody, right?
Yeah.
Think about that. Just because it's not happening to you at that particular moment on the side of the road, that's somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a powerful statement right there.
Well, I think your campaign is saving lives. You're going to never really know that, but no question the awareness is much higher. It's so sad that we've had to go through this, but hope it goes well tomorrow. Thanks for all you do, Jim Hampton. You're a good man.
Thanks a lot.
Appreciate it. He's our man. He's also the sponsor of the Tapman's Towing phone line.
328-2424. Tapman's Towing.
Hi, this is Amanda Jean, the founder and planner of Inspire Your Wedding and Events. After the big yes, are you daydreaming about the big I do? Join us for premier, interactive, immersive, inspirational wedding showcase to bring together vendors and couples from all over Central Illinois for your big day. Come away with ideas and vendors that will make your wedding one of the most inspiring days of your life.
Save the date on Saturday, March 23rd at the historical and unforgettable Orpheum in downtown Champaign.
For complete details, visit inspireyour.com. That's inspireyour.com.
BMW, Buick, GMC, Honda, and Subaru. Welcome to Sarah Champagne. We can handle all your car repairs on site, including paintless dent repair, bumpers, windshields, everything in between. We have an amazing selection of new or pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Shop from home and buy online or reserve your vehicle before it hits our website or dealership. Sarah Champagne is home of the Sarah One Price Promise, delivering an honest and transparent buying experience. Hurry in or shop online at sarahchampagne.com.
First Federal Savings Bank of Champaign-Urbana invested in our community since 1908. Before you buy your home in 2024, we invite you to speak with one of our experienced lenders, Jack, Jim, Kim, or Lane. Experience the convenience of working with a local lender with local service, decisions, and loan underwriting in our comfortable offices. Visit us to experience the exceptional friendly service from our knowledgeable staff. Hey, if you're not already banking with us, give us a try. We think you'll love it here. We do. 356bank.com, First Federal. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 435120.
All right, that's a good dude there. Jim Hampton is that's a good fella. Yep. All right, ESPN 93.5 747. It's basketball tonight.
Yeah.
Luke Goody is participating.
Yes, Adam had just texted. Rumors are Luke Goody's participating in the senior night tonight. There's 7 players and 3 managers being honored at 5:30 ahead of that game against number 3 Purdue, number 12 Illinois, honoring the seniors. But Luke's actually graduating in 3 years.
Yeah, they're going to honor the degree. And again, let's be honest. It's very difficult to absolutely know. This is who I have starting. Well, how do we know? Mm-hmm. Remember, there's money involved. If somebody has another package deal with another school, and it's a lot more money, you can buy players in college now. That's kind of how life works. So this is the game we play. Not only must you absolutely know X's and O's, but you're going to have your NIL people and all your things set up structurally, or you just won't get the best guys.
That's right.
It's kind of how it works. So there's a lot of money being doled out for our basketball team.
It's sold out. It's on Peacock.
Yep.
And we're trying to close out another home schedule. I believe this could be home game win number 7, which hasn't happened since
7.
Is that right?
No.
Okay.
We're like 14-2 or something.
Okay. Maybe
we're pretty good at home. We've lost to Maryland and somebody else. I can't remember. Okay, I think. Okay.
Did you want to grab any audio?
I want Brad Underwood talk about that first game, because wasn't that a close game?
Well, we were never in it. I mean, we made a run. They whooped us. They physically just manhandled us. They were more ready to play. They were more ready to be in that game. Even though we were in the top 10, they controlled the boards. They dominated the offensive glass. Every time we tried to make a run, it was an offensive rebound for a 3. I think there were 3 or 4 of them in the game. We scored a boatload of points in the second half, but you can't dig yourself out of a hole.
Yeah, but you know what? New game tonight. It's March. This is it. If Purdue wins, they're the outright Big Ten champion. So they're playing for a title, outright title. If we win, it comes down to the final game. And Purdue hosts Wisconsin. Good team.
Yeah.
We go to Iowa. Tough matchup.
Yeah.
But we have a chance.
I did find the stat. Illinois has won 6 straight home games and is 15-2 at the State Farm Center this season. A victory Tuesday would mark the most single season home wins since the Fighting Illini program in 88-89.
Marquette beat us. I could not remember the other team. So it was Marquette here early, and then Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
So other than that, pretty doggone good.
Yep, this will be statistics.
This will be big. This is a big crowd with a lot on the line, and also just to more or less say, hey, we know that you're a 1 seed in the tournament as of now. You're expected to go to the Final Four. You're maybe expected to win the national championship. We want to say tonight we can play, and we want to be right there with you. Because you got the number 2 Purdue and number 3 Illinois offense in America playing tonight on national television. Peacock, sorry.
It's true. All right, we have our number 9 seed Illinois women in action on Thursday in Minneapolis against the number 8 seed Maryland. So we're taking note of that. Illinois baseball player, redshirt junior Drake Westcott is honored as Big Ten Player of the Week. He had a couple of homers in that game against EIU in our home opener.
All right, Dr. Todd is coming up.
Okay.
We got March Mudness next. Weather brought to you by Kurt Lenschow, State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Logan, everyone, let's check weather for East Central Illinois. Champaign event this Saturday, and a big change in weather is underway across the area. Strong cold front moving on through. A couple of batches of showers and thunderstorms expected, and a steady drop in temperatures by and large across the area. Will range generally through the upper 40s to mid 50s for the day today. A couple of downpours too this morning. Gusty north winds will settle on in later this morning as well. Colder tonight, down to 39. Partly sunny for the day tomorrow. Temperatures still a few degrees, a bunch of degrees for that matter, above average. Normal highs are about 45 up to 55 tomorrow. Northeast wind, maybe a couple of sprinkles. Late Thursday, partly sunny, 57. More rain ahead, and a stiff breeze for Friday and Saturday. High temperatures up to 56 on Friday. Weekend highs 45 Saturday. Back to dry time and 46 degrees on Sunday. Into the lower 50s and sunshine for Monday of next week. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm Peter Olchus, Greg Solgay.
Yes, we'll have March Madness coming up. Right now, March Mudness. Dr. Todd, our veterinarian friend. How are you?
Good. How are you guys doing today?
Raining hard on you, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what made me think it might be time to talk about the mud we deal with this time of year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's different when you have a dog and then a herd. Some of us have herds. You've talked about how that works. They just come in the kitchen where it's, floor you can mop, but you can't wipe 100 paws, can you?
No, we our tiled kitchen area where the doggies are is very slippery right now, and of course we got lots of doggy baths lined up already today. So anyway, I just want to mention too that when you get weather like this, dogs can get skin rashes from being wet, and so you want to be cautious about things like, you don't think about what's going on underneath that dog collar. You get that collar under there, it's wet, and it's rubbing, and next thing you know, you get a big old bad rash. And they can also get it on their bellies. If you get a dog with very fine hair, this is how you get mats behind the ears. They get wet and the hair mats up. So you want to kind of comb them out after a rain like this.
Yeah, get them dried up, but good point, get that collar off, because our big dogs, when we had the big dogs, no question, that was a thing. Mm-hmm. Little dogs just won't go out. They'll just use the bathroom. That's all they do. So they just don't go out. They can't get their feet wet.
Yep.
So, ew.
Yeah, of course, you have prima donna dogs.
Exactly.
Yeah, so for the people that actually have collars and wet dogs, and that wet dog smell is not really enjoyable, by the way. So,
say what now?
That wet dog smell isn't attractive.
Oh yeah, isn't that really attractive? I think we should talk to Bath and Body Works and get that flavor in there.
That's exactly right. Well, how can people get a bath from Dr. Todd Likens, the Pet Pro Veterinarian?
Hey, give us a call 217-355-5051.
Okay, partner. Talk soon. Thanks for your time.
All right, see you guys.
Our veterinarian, Dr. Todd.
Mm-hmm.
Right there at Madison Kirby.
The Pet Pro.
If you want to go see the white English cream, a.k.a. white golden retriever, And having owned both, it is definitely a mellower dog than a Golden, believe it or not, because Goldens are pretty sweet. But, those dogs have serious eye contact with their owner.
I love it.
They just look at you and wait for the next pizza to be delivered. And they do like pizza.
Yeah.
And I shouldn't know that. All right, we got the news here coming up, top of the hour. What's happening with the baby boomers? Apparently they're not interested in moving. So what's that mean? There's no housing available. The interest rates are up. So it's kind of a problem for this people starting out.
I see.
If the boomers are in a home, they're not moving out, because why would you at this point?
Right.
And nobody wants. The thing with the real estate market,
all the stuff.
as I understand it, you can make bank on your home right now, particularly if you're in that $200,000 to $300,000 to $100,000 range. But then where are you going? Right? It's always like, well, we'll make $50,000. What are you doing after that?
Yeah.
You got to have another place to go.
Mm-hmm.
And so you'll pay higher, and you'll pay the 6.9 or whatever it is right now. So it is definitely an issue, and we're going to talk about that here in the front part of this next hour.
Sounds good.
So stand by for that. Brad Underwood, after the game, was very complimentary of the Wisconsin effort, then went into the Purdue game, which is tonight. And how in the heck do you get ready? I mean, really, I can't go out to the Illinois basketball practice and said, pretend I'm 7'5".
Right.
Let's go.
That's right.
You can't simulate that.
Get on stilts or something.
You had Kofi Coburn was a mess in practice trying to figure out how to guard him. But you don't have, and can you imagine being the guy that never played that had to guard Kofi in practice?
Right.
That would stink.
Right.
And the same thing with Zach Edey. I don't know how you prepare, Coach.
Well, you don't practice for it. I mean, you can't practice that. And so, we dealt with it with Kofi. We know what that's like. It's the other guys that whipped us. Zach's going to get his. You're not going to prevent him. He's that different. You hope to make it hard. You hope to make him. It's the number 2 and 3 offenses in the country going at it. You hope to make him have to do some things on the other end. But Kaufman-Renn, and Gillis and Morton and all those other guys, they just annihilated us. Braden Smith had 2 offensive rebounds. They just physically played harder than we did and just absolutely whipped us. So it's not just Zach, but you got to do some different things to Zach, but you can still do all you want. And there's some baskets he's going to score.
Well, I think you just say Zach Edey has 20 and 10. It's a given he'll score 20. It's a given he'll get 10. That's what Kofi got all the time. So he's got 20 and 10. What you don't want is 35 and 17. You just got to prevent him from doing a monster game like he had game before last. I think he had 35. And Braden Smith, I don't know. He's really good. I presume Terrence is going to start on him, guarding him, but he's a really, really tough-nosed Mr. Basketball, wasn't he, in Indiana? He's really, really good. So we'll hey, they're the number 3 team in America, but yet the respect is there for us to be a 1.5-point home favorite tonight. We are ranked 12th. Again, what does this mean? Both Illinois and Purdue have a double bye for the Big Ten tournament, which starts a week from tomorrow in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And what it means is you're in both top 4 of that tournament. But then, of course, seeding for the big tournament, Purdue doesn't want to lose because they want to maintain their number 1. They're going to be a 1 for sure. It's Connecticut, Purdue, Houston. Houston will be the 1-1. Probably UConn, the second number 1. Purdue at this minute probably be the third number 1. And then I don't know who the 4th number 1 is. Tennessee could be the 4th number 1 team we played earlier in the year. Arizona could be. There's some teams that are right there. I think Illinois is in that mix from the standpoint of coin flip games. I think UConn, Houston, and Purdue are just a little bit better maybe than everybody else, but not much.
But it says here this could be the second of 3 straight quad 1 wins if we take this and then the regular season finale Sunday against Iowa.
Well, that'd help us for sure. And again, you just one ball game at a time, and tonight is Purdue, and they're the man. They're playing for the Big Ten title outright. I don't want to see them beat our record of 17 and we're 16 and 4. That's the all-time Big Ten record for a season. Purdue's lined up to go 17 and 3. So if we can put one on them tonight, the worst they'll do is tie us. But no, 16 and 4. That was back when we didn't win the Big Ten because Michigan was 14 and 3 and had a better percentage.
You had to bring it up.
I'll be right back, my friends. Diane Ducey, I'm Stevie J. It's 8 o'clock. You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
The polls are just opening now in Colorado. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, and former President Trump's name is on the ballot, same in Maine, two of the 15 Super Tuesday states after the Supreme Court ruled he cannot be removed.
We're going to get rid of Biden, the worst president ever.
The former president expects big wins today against challenger Nikki Haley after beat her by 70 points in last night's North Dakota caucuses. He tells Fox,
well, there's no path for her to win, whether she likes hearing that or not.
Nikki Haley's response on Fox a short time ago.
I don't know why everybody's so adamant that they have to follow Trump's lead to get me out of this race. You know, all of these people deserve to vote.
And Nikki Haley says she'll see where she stands after today's contest, again vowing not to run as an independent in November if Trump's the expected eventual Republican nominee. Now, President Biden is expected to easily win today's Democratic contests, and Fox's Jackie Heinrich reports from the White House.
The Biden team wants the media covering Trump's legal challenges, for instance, in the same way they covered the aftermath of January 6th. And Biden frequently hits Trump on being a loser, which has reportedly gotten under his skin, repeating this line again in a rare interview with The New Yorker. It says, quote, Trump lost 60 court cases, 60. The legal path just took him back to the truth that I won the election and he was a loser.
Today, the president is expected to tout a new so-called strike force, trying to lower what he claims are unfair prices on everything from groceries to healthcare, as the Biden administration proposes a regulation to cap credit card late payment fees at $8. Most cards now charge around $32. 5 people are dead in Nashville, Tennessee, when the small plane they were on crashed near a highway last night.
When our crews arrived on scene, they were met with heavy flames and fire.
Kendra Loney with the Metro Fire Department. The pilot had reported engine trouble and went down a few miles before reaching the airport. America's listening to Fox News.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare information guide absolutely free. Call 800-919-3200. That's 800-919-3200. 800-919-3200.
Federal authorities are now pressuring banks to spy on the transactions of conservatives. Hi, I'm Dr. Ron Paul, and this is yet another reason why you need a physical gold IRA from Birch Gold Group. To learn more, text the word SHELTER to 989898 to get your free info kit on gold IRAs. Secure your IRA or 401k right now. Text SHELTER to 989898 to request your free info kit right now.
Message and data rates may apply.
Paid for by Birch Gold Group.
One of the biggest issues voters on Super Tuesday, border security, after a record surge of illegal immigration. The Supreme Court has put on hold a Texas law that was going to take effect in a couple of days after an appeals court overturned a judge's ruling that blocked it. Fox's Griff Jenkins reports from the border in Eagle Pass. The court's decision pauses
Texas's law that would make it illegal to cross the border until at least next week. So if this law were in effect, it would make it a Class B misdemeanor for first-time crossers, punishable up to 6 months, or for repeat offenders, a second-degree felony. And it would require Texas judges to return migrants who illegally cross back to Mexico.
Jack Teixeira could get up to 16 years in prison when he's sentenced in September after the Massachusetts Air National Guardsman pleaded guilty to leaking classified U.S. intelligence on a social media platform last year. In Nebraska, somebody else is due in court today, accused of leaking sensitive American intel on a dating site.
He retired from the Army in 2020, and prosecutors say the 63-year-old started working in 2021 for Nebraska-based Stratcom, which is responsible for nuclear deterrence and nuclear command and control. But court papers say David Franklin Slater connected with an unnamed person claiming to be a woman in Ukraine, sending the individual's secret Pentagon documents pertaining to the Russian invasion. That person called Slater my secret informant, according to court papers, and one message from April of 2022 read, "My sweet Dave, thanks for the valuable information. It's great that 2 officials from the USA are going to Kyiv. CJ Papa, Fox News.
This happened early this morning.
Crew 8 being joyfully welcomed aboard the International Space Station.
That was on NASA TV as 3 American astronauts and a Russian begin a 6-month stay at the station to replace the old crew. On Wall Street, stocks could drop like yesterday. Futures are falling more than 100 points for the Dow and the NASDAQ. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. 2 Amtrak trains temporarily arriving 2 hours earlier at Illinois Terminal due to scheduled track work. Champaign-Urbana Mass Transit District announced that Train 58 will arrive at the Champaign train station at 4:10 instead of 6:10, and Train 59 scheduled to pull into Illinois Terminal at 8:34 p.m. instead of its normal time of 10:34 p.m. Supreme Court unanimously ruled Colorado cannot disqualify former President Trump from the ballot under the 14th Amendment's insurrection ban, a historic decision that preserves Trump's ability to seek a second presidential term. Illinois gas prices have fallen a couple of pennies over the past week. New data from the Energy Information Administration shows the price of a gallon of gas in the Midwest dropped by 2 cents from the $3.12 to $3.10. The average fuel price has risen over the past month by about 23 cents. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
All right, thank you, Jim Miller, and welcome to our second hour, ESPN 93.5. All of our guests appear on the Tapman's Towing phone line. If you want to text in this morning, that is the Fisher National Bank text line, and we're happy to get in. We got some text in earlier. So
yes, we did.
217-359-2255. Our weather brought to you by Watts Copy Systems. If you have problems with your current copier vendor, why not get great service? Greg Wolf can give you a free quote at Watts Copy Systems, locally owned, family-owned, employee-owned, and an Illinois business. Watts Copy Systems, Greg Wolf, 217-352-0428. It's our meteorologist, Greg Solier. Pretty good rain has been falling here, and it's stopped for the moment. What's we seeing here on the forecast, my friend?
Hello.
There he is. So,
yeah, I don't know why it dropped. Must be the showers and thunderstorms.
Yeah.
Monkeying with the broadcast line.
Could be. We had pretty good rain in downtown Fido. It's kind of brighter skies now toward the west. What we have here?
Yeah, well, that's the first round. Actually, multiple rounds. Another batch is still lined up from Bloomington Normal down to where they've had some issues regarding too much rainfall all of a sudden in Sangamon County and back into Morgan County right now. Some of the reports around the Springfield area, over an inch there. Upstream out of Peoria, some spots inch and a quarter. So would be surprised that we see some of those gauges tip in our general direction in that particular amount. And quite a range of temperatures. We have found the cold front from 30, make that 43 Kankakee, 30s through Will County right now, 45 at Peoria versus 53 at Willard and Savoy versus 62 at Peoria. So some clusters of showers, thunderstorms around here for the next probably 3 hours or so. A break, a couple of more showers later this afternoon, and expectations on temperatures at a wide range, generally here in the mid-50s on average. We're about the day's high right now, and readings will slide back in the mid to upper 40s for much of the remainder of the day. Colder tonight, but nothing unusual, actually above average at 39. Partly sunny, still above average temps tomorrow at 55. 57, a late day sprinkle Thursday. Then more widespread rains, maybe another inch expected between late Thursday night, Friday night, and Saturday. High temperatures up around 56 on Friday. We'll be in the 40s for the weekend. Dry time on that daylight savings time mode on Sunday, 46 there. We're back into the 50s. Another warm up then for the first half of next week. Steve Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
All right, ESPN 93.5. Good to have you listening. It is March 5, Illinois Purdue tonight, national TV, biggest game of the Big Ten season, I think. Number 1 against number 2.
Mm-hmm.
Buying a family-sized home with 3 or more bedrooms used to be manageable for young people with children. But with home prices climbing faster than wages, mortgage rates still close to 23-year highs, and a shortage of homes not just in Champaign-Urbana but nationwide, many millennials with kids can't afford it. National thought leader in real estate, been a realtor since 1997, popular speaker, written several books on real estate, Jennifer Hammond. Tampa? You're in Tampa?
Yeah! Yay!
Well, you could have found, is there a hotter market than Florida?
We are one of the hottest markets in Florida right now. It is crazy. Everybody decided to move from the Northeast and move down to Tampa for some reason.
Well, Tampa, St. Pete, the whole area. I love Anna Maria Island, by the way, and I'm sure I'm not going to get a deal north of Pine Street in Anna Maria. I know that. So
No.
it's so crazy. So Jennifer, if I want to buy a home these days, when my wife and I first bought our first home, here's the price, here's the money, see you later, and thank you. Now it's like we're going to be a bidding war, right?
Well, there's so many bidding wars, but also a big one is the, I want to say, the juggling act of people going through the mortgage process, because so often these high interest rates, but then there's all these things. It feels like I've had so many people tell me I'd rather spend a night in jail or get a root canal than go through the mortgage process.
Oh my gosh.
Because it's so invasive. It's so, when you bought, it was a lot easier. Now they want to know every single little thing that you ever did. Why do you go to Starbucks every day? Why do you spend that much money on a cup of coffee?
Seriously? No, they don't do that.
Yeah.
They don't do a deep dive like that, do they?
Well, they do a deep dive. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but
well, listen. All the banks. Remember when we were giving money to people that couldn't pay it back, and then that whole thing exploded in 2000. All of that led to now. Where are you going? Can you afford that trip? I mean, they're they want their money back. I found that to be pretty consistent.
Exactly. So it's exactly that. You used to give people, so you have a pulse, and we'll just give you all this money. And now it's, a little bit the opposite, in that they want to know every single little thing, and they want to go through it. And I've had so many people say, that's none of their business. They don't need to know, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, you just take a deep breath, and if you want the mortgage and you want it with that company, and they're different. That's one of the things I would say right now, one of the solutions that a lot of people don't think about is that you can still have seller financing or private lenders. And a lot of times people just don't even know that exists. So somebody who might be in the boomers, and they're thinking, oh, well, I love this house, but it's way too big for me. So they could go ahead and have one of those tiny homes, or have something, on the big, if they have a big property, they could have a little tiny home out back, and then they could sell the first. They could split the property up. They could do seller financing, and then if they're in the north, they could move down to Florida. Whatever they want to do, but seller financing is one of the solutions. And then also private lenders. There are private lenders out there that it's a very different process than if you go through and get a conventional or an FHA, even a VA, a veterans loan. USDA has an amazing loan, but it's a zero down loan. So again, they're going to want to know everything about you, so they know that you're going to pay it back.
To avoid going to Washington, you need like 20% down, right?
Well, yeah, as I say, conventionals love 20% down. That's just, so you don't get the private mortgage insurance. So if it's less than 20%, but there still are seconds out there. And the other thing is kind of a hope and something to look into as well. Every single area also has home buyer programs, and not first-time home buyer programs, but like just to give you an idea, there's a program called the Heroes Program that can have up to $50,000 in down payment assistance. And that might be paying for your closing costs. That might be for your down payment. It's all sorts of different ways. And that's a national program, although it's administered on the state level. But then there's also local home buyer programs. Like you just were talking about, Pinellas County. So that's St. Pete, Clearwater, all of that. Right now there's a program that's up to $80,000 in down payment assistance.
Wow.
And that's not for first-time home buyers. That's for home buyers. Now, you can't be buying, $1 million home.
Right,
it is restrictive. It's for people who are under the $500,000 range. But still, that's going to get you into a home. And that's changed completely for clients who they don't have that huge chunk of money for down payment or closing costs. So look out there. There are options, even though it's challenging. It just forces you have to be creative, and it forces you to work with a real estate agent who is creative and is thinking outside the box.
Jennifer Hammond on the Tapman's Joint phone line. She's in Tampa. She's a real estate guru. And is that nice to call you a guru? You sound like a guru. Constructive criticism, Jennifer, if you don't mind. I wish you had more energy. Sure. Just give more energy.
I know.
Listen, you obviously love what you do, but I would just think in Tampa, can I buy a nice, decent house for $400,000 or $500,000? I mean, that's kind of where we are, right?
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely buy a house for those prices. Again, it always goes back to location. Yep. We have so many areas, and it depends, again, what's your phase of life? Do you need to be near the schools because you have kids in the schools? Are you someone who wants to be more to the area that has like a nightlife, or are you in the phase that where you're in retirement? Do you want to be close to the beaches? Location's always the thing that makes the price, I want to say, vary, whether it's going to be more expensive. Do you want to be on a lake? Do you want to be on a canal? What kind of waterfront are you looking for? But there are always options.
Yeah. Well, that's what good real estate agents do, work until it's done, but be prepared, because chances are if something's $450, you might have to pay $500 for it if you want it, right? I mean, that happens.
It happens, and especially in some really good locations, the people will pay over the asking price. Yeah. And it's not everywhere. That's the thing to know, is it's not everywhere, but some of those key locations, it's still happening.
Yeah. All right. How can people find you or connect with you? Maybe they want you to speak to their group. How do they find you, Jennifer?
Anytime they want me to speak, I'm happy to. You want to put the J in my name. That's my middle initial. So JenniferJHammond.com. JenniferJHammond.com. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for being on. A great people love energy. You got it, Jennifer. Thanks for your time.
My pleasure. Anytime you need me.
Thank you. On the Tapman's Joint phone line, Jennifer Hammond, Real Estate. So Champaign-Urbana, much like that. I mean, it's probably, if you go buy a $290,000 house, you're probably going to have to pay more. That's just kind of what's happened now. It's just up. And then there'll be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people involved, maybe.
Yeah.
And it's like, ugh, how much is the house? Well, put a bid in.
We just don't have the inventory that we've had in years past.
No, it's really, really down. All right, sports headlines.
Number 12, Illinois, taking on number 3, Purdue, with a 6 o'clock tip tonight. It looks like 5:35 is when they'll start the ceremony to honor 7 players and 3 managers. At 359-2255, we've had a few texts now about Luke Goody's status, and people can graduate early. But then there's a prediction here that he's probably going to hop over to his home state of Indiana.
I don't know. I think it's possible, but I have inside information that would conflict with that.
Okay.
I don't think so, but I'm just saying, anybody could go anywhere, including to Illinois. I mean, there's that kind of thing now. You could get a superstar at Michigan State to transfer, and our guy could transfer to Michigan State. That's where we are.
That's right.
So it's like, yes, it's all possible. What you got to do, Brad's got to figure out how to get Quincy Guerrier, Justin Harmon, and Marcus Damask kind of guys next year.
Oh, my goodness.
Those guys are done.
We had some beasts playing for us and doing so well.
How could you have ever predicted Marcus Damask was going to be what he's turned? I mean, yeah, incredible. Incredible.
So Chicago Bulls over Sacramento 133-109. Milwaukee over Portland 113-106. Pacers are in Dallas tonight. Hockey-wise, in a shootout, St. Louis Blues beat Philadelphia 2-1, and Colorado shut out the Blackhawks 5-0. I heard that Cody Bellinger's going to take some swings as a DH as he steps into that spring training mode. Of course, we'll have all the Cubs over on US 105.9. Our Cardinals starting on March 28th over on the West Coast against the LA Dodgers on March 28th. So, looking forward to all that. And, of course, we're your home for MLB.
Yeah.
So, contact us here at Stevie Jay Broadcasting if you like. Are you looking to get the most from your money? If not, you should be. A free rewards checking account from Fisher National Bank gives you access to their Reward Saver, which earns you an exceptional annual percentage and can really increase your earnings potential. No monthly service fees or minimum balance required. When you're ready to make the most of your money, switch to Rewards Checking and Rewards Savings Program from Fisher National Bank. See the monthly requirements at any branch or fishernational.com. Fisher National Bank, exceptional communities, exceptional people, member FDIC.
Well, it is Tuesday. Our weather this morning brought to you by Kramer Siding and Window.
Kramer reminds you they are your premier provider for home improvements, specializing in siding, windows, doors, roofing, outdoor living. Learn more at kramersiding.com.
All right, talk a little more about the game tonight. Got some Brad Underwood to give you. If you've missed it, we'll play some of that. Stand by. It is 8:19.
Logan, everyone, let's check weather for East Central Illinois. Champaign-Urbana this Saturday, and a change is underway weather-wise. Strong cold front shifting through the area, and batches of showers and a couple of active thunderstorm clusters expected here for the morning hours. No heavy or severe weather, but there'll be a couple of downpours. Temperatures upstream in the 40s and 50s will range into that probably upper 40 to mid 50 degree range for much of the day today on increasing north winds as the later morning and afternoon wears on. Mostly cloudy for tonight, down to 39, and the cooler weather settles in for the day tomorrow too, but still above average temperatures. Should be in the 40s this time of the year, but 55 tomorrow with a partly sunny sky and a northeast wind. A few sprinkles late Thursday, partly sunny 57. Widespread soaking rains for Friday will wind down on Saturday. Highs of about 56 on Friday, only 40s for the weekend. Back to dry time expected here on Sunday. Don't forget the time change. And then for Monday next week, the start of a warm-up, we're back into the 50s. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm Roach's Greg Solgay.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Target shares are rallying after reporting a 58% increase in fourth quarter profits, beating Wall Street expectations thanks to lower markdowns and lower inventory shrink costs. Also topping estimates, revenue, which rose slightly from a year ago, up 1.7% to $31.92 billion. Spirit Airlines and JetBlue are ending their agreement to merge, saying it's because of regulatory hurdles. The announcement comes weeks after a federal judge blocked JetBlue's attempt to take over the budget carrier, saying it would harm cost-conscious travelers who rely on Spirit's low fares. JetBlue made an unsolicited bid nearly 2 years ago, right after Spirit announced it had a different merger agreement with fellow budget airline Frontier. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Lillian Wu, invested in you.
Get all of your favorite Fox News podcasts commercial-free on Apple Podcasts with Fox News Podcasts Plus. From Dana Perino, Kennedy, Ben Domenech, The Duffys, and many more. Subscribe now by going to foxnewspodcasts.com. The Fox News Rundown, a contrast of perspectives you won't hear anywhere else. Your daily dose of news twice a day, featuring insight from top newsmakers, reporters, and Fox News contributors. Listen and subscribe now by going to foxnewspodcasts.com.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
Looking for a place to host a corporate meeting, intimate gathering, or a large-scale celebration? If so, the University of Illinois' Alice Campbell Alumni Center offers the perfect space and staff to make your function a success. A few rooms offered at the center include the Elegant Ballroom, the Richmond Family Gallery, and the Premier and Professional Executive Boardroom. For more information on renting a space at the Alice Campbell Alumni Center, visit uiaa.org/alumni-center or call 1-800-355-2580. Go Illini!
PDR Automotive has now been serving the Champaign-Urbana area for over 50 years. To give you some perspective, 50 years ago ended the U.S. involvement in the Vietnam War, and it was when Secretariat won the Triple Crown. So what does that mean for you and your vehicle? Whether you need a carburetor overhauled or your new vehicle computer system diagnosed or programmed, PDR Automotive has the experienced, knowledgeable staff that can handle all your automotive needs. Online at pdrauto.com, they are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR. Okay, it is 8:23. Brad Underwood talking about tonight. I just can't believe it's March 5th. I can't believe the season's over from the standpoint of home games. This is it. Next big home game is, well, we're going to go to Illinois baseball. We love Illinois baseball. But, Illinois track. The next one with tens of thousands is going to be Eastern Illinois football. And that's August 31. So anyway, Brad, talking about it, it's got to be emotional. You put some blood, sweat, and tears in this thing.
Yep.
I think what we see is the common new era of senior days. I think we've got a new pattern or routine. We've got a little bit of everything. First of all, we've got 3 wonderful managers that will go through the process. John Phelan, Macy Mishevitz, and Jaden Katz, all 3 been instrumental in what they've been able to help us with. And then we've got everything from a first-year guy who scored his first career basket with us, and Max Williams, to a 2,000-point scorer. Another one who's going to pass 2,000, and TJ. We've got a 4-year guy. We've got a 3-year guy in Luke Goody who will walk because he's graduating from the Geese School of Business.
That's just not easy to do that. Geese School of Business isn't. And then you're going to all these games on the road. When he was on with the boys, talking about to get this homework in, I'm going, really? Yeah, for him.
Right.
Some guys are taking something else, but he's in the Geese. So that's a
degree
impressive.
in finance.
So why not celebrate that? Nobody knows if he's the guy that's going to leave.
What does that really mean?
Oh, it's a good fodder to talk. Mm-hmm. But he has not been playing much lately, by the way.
Right. But he was sick. And he had a tiny little ankle thing he talked about with the guys on the show on the drive.
I got you.
With a degree in business, and we felt it very important to be able to recognize that. And then you got, there's 3 grad transfers in here. So it is really a unique day and kind of the modern day basketball world that we're living in, where we see a wide spectrum of guys. So it's a very accomplished group. Quincy's a 1,500-point scorer.
He's a man with a wife and a baby, okay? Yeah. This is the kind of age. How's everybody? Could I see a show of hands? But except you're driving, so forget that. So could I see the nodding of your head? Who wants older teams? Me.
Yes.
I've been through that freshman thing.
Experience is huge.
Well, in the freshmen, they're 18. They got an entourage. Everybody's telling them how coach isn't using them right, and we can go to Michigan to get more money. I mean, all that stuff's going on.
Mm-hmm.
I like the more mature guy that's been around, that's already been through that thing a few times. Like Quincy went to Syracuse, then he went to Oregon. Now he's at Illinois. I mean, he's been terrific, and he's a man.
I know.
I like the men over the boys. That's just something I've kind of accepted.
Justin Coleman are both approaching 1,000 in their careers. So this has been an extremely fun group to coach. By far and away the most pleasurable year, just with character, with fun, with guys at work. Guys have bought into our culture. All the ups and downs of a season.
All right, it's settled. We're going after old guys.
That's right. Whoever's in the portal who is 22 and up.
Because they're older. It is different. Every coach you talk to prefers an older guy that's been there.
Yes.
Why wouldn't you? This team has just been good. First time we played Purdue, coach isn't fooled.
We're never in it. I mean, we made a run. They whooped us. They physically just manhandled us. They were more ready to play. They were more ready to be in that game. Even though we were in the top 10, they controlled the boards. They dominated the offensive glass. Every time we tried to make a run, it was an offensive rebound for a 3. I think there were 3 or 4 of them in the game. We scored a boatload of points in the second half.
Made it kind of close, single digits, I think. But remember, Terrence Shannon was not playing. So that's kind of a big one.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, we have senior night tonight, which is a long procession of people that deserve recognition.
7 players and 3 managers.
So 10 people. I think the cheerleaders, the Illinois, they get kind of recognized at like timeouts.
Okay.
I guess they just figured it's going to take a really long time, but they deserve. I mean, they put in a ton of work.
Yes.
To get everything together. So anyway, we'll go through that. And again, the game tips at 6. Stuff kind of gets going 5:35, 5:40 maybe. They say 5:35. That sounds awfully early. But because usually you have to you have to get to the national anthem. We got to go back in, put stuff on. They got their warm-ups going out. They get their big, picture frame of the jersey.
Right.
Pictures with the parents and things like that.
It's a thing.
It's a wonderful thing.
Exactly.
So I don't, it's not going to be full at 5:35, but I think there'll be a good number of people in there because you want to cheer for the guys.
That's right.
These guys have been great. It's just, you never really know. Marcus Damask, I thought was going to be the guy we kick it out to and makes a three. The guy's doing some Larry Bird, Michael Jordan kind of fadeaways covered like heck and just makes it.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the booty ball thing. Professor of booty ball this year. I mean, he's been terrific. And drives a 2005 car with a lot of problems, but he's only worried about what really matters.
Absolutely.
Who doesn't want that guy on our team? And his parents and the family and 300 people in Wisconsin because he's from Waupun, which is like the size of what? Philo? How many population of Waupun? WAUPON or something?
I think it is.
It's like small.
Okay.
And that's why he was Mr. Basketball in Wisconsin and nobody Southern, nobody in the Power 5 wanted him, including his own state school. And so he goes back and does that, scoring 31 points when we really needed that win.
11,515.
All right, it's the size of Charleston, Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
So if Mr. Basketball comes from Charleston, Illinois, or what, Rantoul? Would a Power 5, they played a little small school, all that stuff. Well, anyway, we'll be right back. Final segment coming up. Please text in, Fisher National Bank text line 217-359-2255. Your thoughts on the ball game tonight. Can we beat Purdue? Can we? It is 8:30.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. Former President Trump says he expects to win all 15 states holding Republican primary contests on this Super Tuesday, and there's no path where Nikki Haley can win the nomination.
There's no path for Nikki. I wish Nikki the best, but she stood up and many, many times said, I'd never run against our president. He was a great president. I would never run. And then she ran.
Haley says Republicans just keep losing since Trump won in 2016.
I was just in Michigan, and since Donald Trump became president in 2016, they lost the governor's mansion, they lost the state house, they lost the state senate. Same thing in Minnesota. I went to Colorado. No Republican has won more than 45% statewide since Donald Trump became president.
Both candidates there on Fox and Friends this morning. All 5 people on board are killed in a small plane crash in Nashville. The pilot reported engine trouble and was trying to make it to the airport 3 miles away for an emergency landing. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Reps Nikki Budzinski and Mary Miller sent a letter to Postmaster raising serious concerns about USPS plan to downsize the Champaign Processing and Distribution Center. The plan could mean worse delivery rates and the relocation of dozens of jobs to the Chicago area. Budzinski encouraging locals to take advantage of the current comment period. Wind farm under construction in Pike County paused while officials work out details on permits for that facility. The megawatt Panther Creek wind farm has been in the works for about a decade, but county officials say they want to make sure local property owners are protected. They say the wind farm could be in operation as early as mid-April. Illinois gas prices have fallen a couple of pennies over the past week. New data from the Energy Information Administration shows the price of a gallon of gas in the Midwest dropped by 2 cents from $3.12 to $3.10. Average fuel price has risen over the past month by about 23 cents. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Joe Miller.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois. Champaign-Urbana is Saturday, and a big change in weather is underway across the area. Strong cold front moving on through. A couple of batches of showers and thunderstorms expected, and a steady drop in temperatures by and large across the area. Will range generally through the upper 40s to mid-50s for the day today. There'll be a couple of downpours too this morning. Gusty north winds will settle on in later this morning as well. Colder tonight, down to 39. Partly sunny for the day tomorrow. Temperatures still a few degrees, a bunch of degrees for that matter, above average. Normal highs are about 45 up to 55 tomorrow. Northeast wind, maybe a couple of sprinkles late Thursday, partly sunny 57. More rain ahead and a stiff breeze for Friday and Saturday. High temperatures up to 56 on Friday. Weekend highs 45 Saturday. Back to dry time and 46 degrees on Sunday. Into the lower 50s and sunshine for Monday of next week. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm Peter Olchus, Greg Solgay.
Yeah, Waupun, Wisconsin, home of the Damask family. 11344 is Diane mentioned 2020 census. It's about 8 times larger than Philo. Mm-hmm. What's the population of Rantoul? What's the population of Savoy? Isn't Savoy almost 10,000?
I think it's grown for sure.
So if you're Mr. Basketball comes out of a small town, generally they don't know how you'll play with the big boys kind of thing. That's kind of the attitude. I think Marcus has done pretty well with the big boys.
Savoy, Illinois, 2021, 8,823.
Okay. What's Tolono? 4,000?
Yeah, I would think so.
And Rantoul's got to be about 8 or 10, isn't it?
Right. 3,500 for Tolono. I'll enter Rantoul now. I never really think about any of this. Muhammad has certainly grown.
Well, Muhammad, I mean...
Rantoul is more likely comparable to Waupun, Wisconsin,
okay.
With 12,119.
Right. Comparable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but what's Muhammad? Muhammad's 8,000, isn't it? 8 or 9?
Muhammad gets 9,589.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That was a very rural school in the 70s. And look at that.
Muhammad Seymour.
They say, where is Seymour anyway? Where is Muhammad?
Right. We had Jim Hampton in earlier, and he's one of the Muhammad Music Festival sponsors at the end of August, which is awesome. But Tony had texted in, like Superman's Clark Kent, now we know Tapman's secret identity. Of course, we had, Jim Hampton on the screen and stuff like that earlier in the show, and we talked about him wearing his Western
good on
gear.
The screen, didn't he?
He did.
Looked 6'8",
and he was wearing his Cardinals gear, and it looks like maybe he's going to be an assistant producer then for you.
Yeah, he's been tapped as
when you do your live broadcast
producer.
From
Busch Stadium, April 4, opening day.
April 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we start on the road in that West Coast series. So.
And he and his wife looking good working the room at the I Hotel on Saturday, March 2nd, when the 15th annual prom benefit happened for Eastern Illinois Food Bank. That was presented by Martinelli's Market, and they had top fundraisers of Holly Birch Smith with Holly Birch Photography and Johnny Santiago with York Public Adjusters, crowned king and queen, raising the most money on the Harrington Law Prom Court, raising over $54,000, and the whole thing raised more than 350,000 meals for food insecure individuals. Now, Eastern Illinois Food Bank is a network of 170 different food pantries in an 18-county area. And today is the day, the first Tuesday of the month, between 9 a.m. and essentially 3 p.m., that they're popping around to southern Champaign County, starting in St. Joe with Feed the Need at 9, Ogden at the Old Ballpark at 10, Homer across from the post office at 11, and then they go at the bottom of the hour, Sydney's Community Building, 12:30, Philo at the Village Office at 1:30, and Tolono out at the Oaks Trailer Park at 2:30.
Okay.
So take note of that, eifoodbank.org for details.
All right, it is 8:37 in Champaign-Urbana as we again prepare for arguably the biggest Big Ten matchup of the year here in Champaign at the State Farm Center, and a very formidable, one of the best teams in America this year, the Purdue Boilermakers.
Well, so much on these quad one wins, and this could be the 2nd and 3 if we were to beat Iowa.
Yeah,
also,
I mean, but it's what does that get me? I'm already set for the Big Ten,
right?
So what it gets me is maybe a 3 seed instead of a 4 seed, kind of. Okay, I mean the games are going to be
right.
What really ticks me off is the first round is hard. It used to be the first round, 72-50. We win. But everybody got good and made threes, and it wasn't any fun anymore. Where's the fun? I'm supposed to win easily. So if the first game is going to be, it doesn't care if it's a 4-13 game where a 4 we play a 13 seed. 13 is going to be good. They've had the best year of their life. So if you're a 3 and a 14, Austin P beat us when we were a 3. I started to bring that up.
Right.
2 and 15s are good games now. Now 16s beat 1s. Happened last year. Purdue. So it's not as fun. So the first round's the first round. Whatever the matchup, it'll be all about matchups, right?
That's right.
So you just play it and try and win. Then the next game is going to be a 4 and a 5 or a 3 and a 6. It's just a coin flip.
So we're 22-7 on the season, 13-5 in the Big Ten, and number 3 Purdue is 26-3 on the season, 15-3 in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
And the game against Indiana for Purdue is on Sunday.
Wisconsin is way better. So Wisconsin at Purdue, highly unlikely. But if we beat our team, Iowa, on Saturday night, we'll be watching ever so closely because it'll be for a co-championship if Wisconsin were to pull the unlikely senior day matchup with Purdue and win. Doubt it. It's just Purdue's really good. Purdue's really, really good. And so that's just like, okay, when you win a Big Ten championship, it's really cool. Get a banner, big claps, it's great. It doesn't, it's not the Sweet 16 matters. That's just what we've evolved to. Bobby Knight used to get really mad about all that. He thought the Big Ten championship was a big deal. It's March. That's the big deal. We've gone to the point of saying, well, what'd you do in March? A month ago, people were asking if Brad should be dismissed if we don't. And you're going, he's the winningest coach in the Big Ten last 5. What are we doing? What are you talking about? You tell me who you hire that guarantees me a win in March. No, nobody.
It's all the fair weather fans who.
No, it's just that what matters
so
is the tournament. Everything is on the tournament. You can play 30 games and win 29 and lose the first game. It's a bad year.
Right.
How is that?
I don't know.
It is so important.
I just feel like there's some people that just ooze the negativity and always are pointing out the faults. And
this has been a fantastic, close, incredible. Not an 05, obviously, but this is it the Iowa was amazing with Kofi. The COVID was awful, but we plunged through the thing and lost early. The Loyola thing was disappointing because you had Kofi and Iowa, and they frustrated the heck out of us. And that was an 8 versus a 1, so that one hurt. So but generally speaking, if you look through the whole, the entire picture of the tournament, those happen. Purdue losing a 16 last year when Virginia lost to a 16. The very next year, Virginia won the national championship. Purdue's never done that. I don't know if Purdue's ever been to the Final Four. They just always lost in the tournament. So they're thinking, man, we've been good for a long time. We don't really have the hardware. Purdue could totally make a run. Totally to the Final Four. Maybe they could win it all. Zach Edey's tough. He's just a college player. He's hard to beat. But I'm telling you, Illinois has the type of team that could win some games here, and we're just hoping. I'm just trying to say.
They made the Final Four in 1980.
Wow.
Before falling to UCLA.
Who was the coach for Purdue in 1980? I know that answer.
Wasn't it Gene Cady?
I don't think so. Somebody rose.
From 83 onward, the team went to the tournament 6 straight time.
Yeah, they went, but they lost. It's 80s where Purdue, Illinois were always in it. Illinois made the Final Four in 89, and, of course, the final game in 05. And then North Carolina came along and cheated. Their guys weren't going to school, but whatever.
Gene Cady was with Boilermakers.
In 80?
In 80.
I didn't know that. I thought it was a guy. There's a Lee Rose who was, I thought, there before. Anyway, we'll see. But bottom line, that's why I have to watch this from my bedroom and the TVs in the family room and peek. The late, great Dave Shaw, who used to do play-by-play for Channel 3 and news director at Channel 3. I think it evolved to toward the end of his life. I think he truly was watching from the closet. It just when you get older, it just right. That's what. It's hard for me to sit in tense games. It just.
Who's Bruce Weber rooting for in this game? He had a Purdue chapter, right?
Oh, he had a bigger Illinois chapter. Bruce was assistant coach of Gene Cady. He got fired every Friday. Every Friday, Gene fired the assistants, and Bruce said he didn't know whether they should come, and they showed up Monday, and things seemed fine. Okay. Every Friday, they get fired.
I see.
That wouldn't have been any fun. Bruce, honey, Megan, I don't know if I have a job Monday. You just got fired again. Wow. Illinois was, and again, go back to Mike Thomas. What was that? You fire Ron Zook and Bruce Weber. Was that his purpose? And then how'd that work out? Not so well, really. So,
right.
Anyway, that's a
little bit of a rough chapter.
Bruce Weber went to Kansas, got more money than he got paid at Illinois, was getting paid with Illinois and Kansas State. And he took Kansas State to the Elite Eight.
I know.
Bruce Weber is a great man. A good human being and a heck of a basketball coach who never really got the respect. And he told me Darren Williams liked me for some reason. It was one big deal in the 04, 05.
Nice.
But he said, yeah, Darren liked me for some reason. This is great. All right, guys, one more sports thingy, and then we'll come back, do the weather, get out of here. ESPN 93.5.
The average American throws away almost 5 pounds of trash per day, half which ends up in a landfill. At 2 Men and a Junk Truck, when we pick up your unwanted furniture, appliances, trash, and office equipment, we make it a priority to divert those items from your local landfill. 2 Men and a Junk Truck, looking for partners that share our vision of environmental responsibility. If you and your organization can reuse, upcycle, recycle some of these items, we would love to work with you. Contact us at 2menandajuncktruck.com. We want to make room for what matters most.
Hi, this is Troy Lands from Lands Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. With colder temperatures here, let's make sure your heating system is operating at its best. At Lands, you can join our comfort family and get exclusive savings and support to keep your heating system in tip-top shape this winter and all year round. Our plans offer tune-ups, discounts on repair, and even lifetime system enhancements. Plus, we back up our equipment with labor warranty when we install it. Find out more about our comfort family maintenance plans at landsinc.com. I'm Troy Lands, and you can count on my company because you can count on me.
All right, sports headlines, 8:45.
Number 12, Illinois, taking on number 3, Purdue, and the tip-off is at 6 o'clock tonight. It is sold out. There will be lots of great energy. Get there early. The ceremony to honor the seniors starts at 5:35. 7 players and 3 managers on the list, and yes, Luke Goody is one of them because he's graduating early from the business college, Geese College of Business, and has finance degree, so
I think he's going to be here next year, and I think he's going to be getting his master's.
I'm sure that'll be one of the first questions when he's on with Tay and Piper on the drive.
Yeah.
No, they won't. They won't.
I don't know when they're on.
Will
No,
they?
yeah, sure.
Okay.
What's it mean? You leaving? And he'll say, no, you never know.
Okay.
Right? I mean, you don't.
All right.
You can't say absolutely. What if somebody comes with a big bag of money?
Yeah.
And they want to NIL you.
Yep.
You got to look at stuff, right?
That's right. And they were texting in at 359-2255 since he hasn't had as much playing time. But again, said on the drive how he was sick and talked about the fever. And
haven't heard that. I didn't know that.
And
that's what you get when you listen to the drive.
Right. You get this inside information. I want to say he came back from class and laid down, and it was like a 12-hour nap or something that his body was recuperating.
Nobody mentioned that. I did not hear that.
And then there's a little bit of an ankle thing, but not, bad. Of course, we don't want to mention too much because he has been through these foot injuries and stuff like that before, so people get worried. Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing, First Federal Savings Bank, and Max Twin City Recycling bring Luke Goody on in the afternoons once a week here on ESPN 93.5. Anyway, we're looking forward to a great game tonight. And our number 9 seed Illinois women will be against number 8 seed Maryland Thursday at 11:30 up in Minneapolis for the Big Ten tournament. Baseball player of the week was Drake Westcott. He got a couple of homers and some great statistics coming in here in the beginning of the season when we played EIU at home last week. It was nice to have such great weather for that. I know they'll be in Tennessee, who's ranked number 8, in Knoxville Friday starting at 5. And they've added some games down in St. Louis for our Illinois softball team. It looks like their home opener will be against Missouri a week from tomorrow. Bulls over Sacramento, the Bucks over Portland, and we'll have the Pacers in Dallas tonight. St. Louis beat Philadelphia in a shootout 2-1. Colorado blinked the Blackhawks 5-0.
All right, 8:47. Let's get Greg's forecast. Some more rain our way, kind of in spots. Stand by.
Invest in yourself and your money with a free rewards checking account from Fisher National Bank. Instead of losing a little each month in service fees and charges, wouldn't it be nice to earn on your money? Switch to Fisher National, where we offer 2.02 annual percentage yield on balances up to $20,000. No service fees or minimum balance required. Simply make 12 debit card purchases, agree to receive your statements electronically, and have at least one direct deposit in a monthly cycle to qualify. It's as easy as that. If an excellent APY alone wasn't enough, our free rewards checking also includes ATM fee refunds up to $20 and access to Reward Saver, which increases your earnings potential with 4.07% APY on balances up to $20,000. When you're ready to maximize your money, look to Fisher National, a bank ready to make the investment in you. See monthly requirements at any branch or visit fishernational.com. Fisher National Bank. Exceptional communities, exceptional people. Member FDIC.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois. Champaign, Urbana is Saturday, and a change is underway weather-wise. Strong cold front shifting through the area, and batches of showers and a couple of active thunderstorm clusters expected here for the morning hours. No heavy or severe weather, but there'll be a couple of downpours. Temperatures upstream in the 40s and 50s will range into that probably upper 40 to mid 50 degree range for much of the day today on increasing north winds as the later morning and afternoon wears on. Mostly cloudy for tonight, down to 39, and the cooler weather settles in for the day tomorrow too, but still above average temperatures. Should be in the 40s this time of the year, but 55 tomorrow with a partly sunny sky and a northeast wind. A few sprinkles late Thursday, partly sunny, 57. Widespread soaking rains for Friday will wind down on Saturday. Highs of about 56 on Friday, only 40s for the weekend. Back to dry time expected here on Sunday. Don't forget the time change. And then for Monday next week, the start of a warm-up, we're back into the 50s. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm Roach's Greg Solgay.
Hi, I'm Tyler Weaver, president of Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery. Take a look around your home. Is it finally ready for some much-needed updates? If you don't know where to start, then just meet with one of our experts. We'll help you find the perfect waterproof plank floor for your kitchen or that stain-resistant, super soft carpet for your bedroom. Finish your room update with a custom sofa and chairs, or choose a trendy in-stock dining set that's priced right. Come home to Carpet Weavers, where floors, furniture, and family meet.
Relax. Call back 217-359-7293.
Every month we honor law enforcement because they deserve it. A 7-year guy, 8 years in Florida, 15 total. He's now with the Champaign Police Department. Presently serves as a sergeant in the patrol division, Sergeant Austin Massey. Why did you get into this business?
Ever since I was really young, I was raised to respect law enforcement and appreciate that they are in their position to help us and be ready to assist at your worst time. Growing up, seeing the law enforcement in the community out there helping, just really something I wanted to do and be there to help people on their worst day, help make their lives a little better.
How do you approach each day?
You never know what you're going to get. Coming into work, you never know. It could be a nice, calm day, nothing going on. I can just take care of paperwork and get everyone squared away. But then the wheels can fall off and we can go call to call to call. It's almost instinct.
Relax. Call back 217-359-7293.
All righty. So we'll see you at the ball game tonight. And again, I'm so happy at 6 o'clock. If this had been an 8 o'clock game, I'd have gotten to bed at midnight.
Exactly.
1 o'clock. Because you
grumpy Stevie J the next day.
Happy Stevie J. If we win, it doesn't matter.
Well,
right?
for sure.
Yeah.
Hey, we got a text in from Sam about
on the Fisher National Bank text line, did we?
And it was Shirley Whalen's 90th birthday. I went to celebrate her yesterday also. She's been at McDonald's on Neil and Kirby since 2000, she said.
Wow.
And so it's great that she's working every morning. Just things run so much better when Shirley is behind the counter at McDonald's, and there's so many people, including my husband. And today is one of his coffee circle days between 8:30 and 10. That there's so many seniors that come in and get their senior coffee and just visit.
What's senior coffee cost? I think I'm in that league.
I want to say it's just under $1.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
And I want to say it might be free refills.
That's what of course, then how much coffee do I need?
Exactly. Wow. So congratulations. Shirley Whalen is 90 this past weekend, and they honored her yesterday with a big
Well, good for her. And I think we've met, right? She's a very nice lady.
That's right.
Very
In fact,
nice.
you had met her son and great-granddaughter, too.
Yeah. All right, Super Tuesdays today. It's not including Illinois. We, by the way, that Supreme Court, and I didn't even bring it up, it's 9-0. It was kind of expected.
Right.
8-1, 9-0. The liberal media went pretty nuts about it. Because it was, in fact, unanimous with the 3 liberals. Don't expect that one very often, but you got it. And so that means he's on the ballot. He's going to be on the ballot in Illinois. Primary's coming up the 19th.
That's right.
It's just when you have a former traffic ticket judge rule that he can't be on my ballot in Illinois. What's that?
Okay.
How you can do that is I've got to learn more about my civics on how one judge can do stuff like that.
Well, and of course I don't have it up, but J.B. Pritzker was in town, and we are